So you're thinking of moving to Centennial, Colorado? I'm gonna teach you how to find the perfect area for you. What's up everybody, this is Angel and I'm a real estate agent here in Denver, Colorado. And if you want to learn everything about what's like to eat, work, sleep, live, and play in Denver, Colorado, make sure you subscribe. And if you have any questions about making your move to Denver, feel free to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email, or book a Zoom call with me. I'm always available and my information's in the description below. Obviously, Centennial's a big city. There's many places where you could go, but I have basically narrowed it down to 4 styles of living. First, we're gonna have downtown living. Downtown living is for people who enjoy being able to walk places and run errands. You enjoy the thrill of living in the city. You want to go to events. You want to go to bars. You want to be close to work. You want to be where the action is and you prefer a busy place. And I'm going to be very honest, Centennial's not the place for that kind of living, but I'm going to show you some places that are going to be somewhat comparable. Right now, we're looking at a map of Centennial and basically we're going to go from west to east. So we're going to start over here in this area. If you live right by this area in Arapahoe and University, there is a ton of things to do around there. It is kind of like an outdoor mall. You have a Chick-fil-A, a Whole Foods, you have many restaurants, a movie theater, you have places to do your hair, you have a Macy's over here, Ross, Best Buy. There is a lot of businesses in this area that you need for your daily living. So now let's zoom out. The next place we're gonna look at, it's over here in this area. Over here, it's kind of like the same concept. There is a ton of restaurants, there is a ton of bars and convenience stores, there is gyms, a movie theater. Over here on the other side of I-25, we have Home Depot. We have multiple bars over here that are very well known. We even have an arcade bar over here. You have an REI close by, which that's always great to have. The amphitheater is right by there. There's many events during the summer. It's a great place to go. There's a Safeway. Everything you need, it's gonna be within a 1 mile radius. So now let's zoom out and let's keep going to west. Over here along Arapahoe Road, you're always gonna have a ton of restaurants and things to do. And I wanna zoom in over here by Centennial Center Park. So as I mentioned, there is not really a downtown area over here. This is where the city government is. So as you can tell, it's just like a little building and a park. So there isn't much going on in that area. So now let's go over here to this area where it's an intersection of Parker and Arapahoe. Over here, there's a lot of things to do as well. There's a Target, a Ross, Marshall's, there's some stores, a trampoline park, places to wash your dog. There's a tons of restaurants. There's a UPS, a Walgreens, a Qdoba. So a lot of things going on in that area as well. And now I'm gonna take you to the very last part, which is over here. Over here, there's also a lot of great things. So over here, you're gonna have your King Suburbs. You're gonna have a Vasa, which is one of the bigger gyms here in the area. Tons of restaurants along this area. The bank, and again, everything you need for your daily living is within a 1.5 miles from that area. And last but not least, technically in Aurora, it's gonna be the Southlands Mall, but if you live over here by this area that I was just showing you, you're gonna have very quick access to the Southlands Mall, which is an outdoor mall. It's awesome. The second style of living is living in the suburbs. Maybe you work from home, maybe you want good schools. This is really the bread and butter of Centennial. Really, anywhere in Centennial, you're gonna have everything you need very close by, all of the amenities that you need for day-to-day living. The third style of living is, hey, I'm moving to Colorado, I wanna be close to the mountains. And again, this is something that is not probably Centennial's forte, but I'm gonna show you what are the best places where you can easily get to the mountains. Going back to the map of Centennial, the first thing I wanna do is show you where the mountains are. So I'm gonna zoom out and I'm gonna change the terrain view. Now, as you can tell, all of the mountains are gonna be on this area. That's something that honestly, it's very weird to me that we call all of this the Front Range. And honestly, there's mountains to the west. And then if you go east, it's very flat. So as you can tell, if you live in Centennial, you're really not very close to the mountains. The higher elevation areas where you're gonna have very good views of the mountains on a clear day, it's gonna be over here in this area. Of course, it's gonna depend on the houses and the lots, but this is going to be a good area. Also, if you like that kind of living, maybe you don't have to go to the mountains. Maybe you can compromise and go to Cherry Creek State Park. So living in these areas over here are great for that. If you live close to E470, which is this road that takes you east to west, you can easily jump into E470 and go to the mountains. From I-25 and E470, it's going to be about a 20-minute drive to the start of the Front Range. So of course it depends how deep you want to be into it. Another good compromise could be Chatfield State Park. It is an awesome park. You can go fishing, you can go on your bike. There are baby mountains over here by Castle Pines. Honestly, they're good for quick hikes, but it's never gonna replace the actual mountains. Now, I quickly wanted to show you this. Maybe you like going outdoors, but you're not really into elevation. You kind of just want to keep it flat. In that case, we do have the Highland Canal over here. And as you can tell, it goes all the way from Aurora all the way to Chatfield State Park, almost Chatfield State Park. So if you live over here in these areas, you can easily jump into that trail. You can connect into the Platte Trail, and that takes you to Chatfield Reservoir. So if you're into that kind of living, that's awesome. It is relatively simple cycling over here in this area. There's many trails that go along E470. That's for bikes. So if you're into cycling, it's a very convenient place to live. The fourth style of living is, hey, I want my space. I want acreage. I don't want to see my neighbor. If I see them, it's because I'm driving by. I just do one of these. There are places in Centennial that are great for that at the moment. I don't know if it's going to change in the future. So let's zoom in over here and I'm going to show you the lot sizes. North of Arapahoe Road, you're going to see your typical homes. They're kind of like that size. And I'm showing you this for reference. That's not the place for the acreage. The place for acreage is over here. All of this area over here. So let's zoom into those. So once you zoom in, look at that size of those lots. Those are awesome lots. Last year, the sale with the most acreage in Centennial was over 2 acres in the middle of the city, which is something that's not very typical. So all of this area is what I would recommend if you like that kind of living. The thing with this is that we have to be honest. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, of course. If I had to bet which places in the Denver metro area are going to see a reduction in their lot sizes, it's going to be that area in Centennial. It's just prime real estate. There's a lot of people that want to move in there. And those houses have just a ton of land. You can probably build 5 or 6 houses where one is sitting right now. For a more permanent solution, I would say go north of Denver. To the south of Denver, I think the same thing is going to happen. Colorado Springs and Denver are kind of becoming closer and closer every day. But north of Denver, we do have Fort Collins, but it seems like it's going to take longer for that connection to happen as opposed to Colorado Springs. That's just my opinion, but who knows what's going to happen. Because of all these variables, that's why I love when you guys reach out to me. I'm going to be asking you some questions. What are your priorities? Why are you moving here? What are the things you like to do? What are the things you don't like to do? And after a brief conversation, we can narrow down the options that you have and then start looking into those places and say, hey, I got a spot for you. Let me know in the comments what's piquing your interest about moving to Centennial, Colorado. As I mentioned, I'm Angel, and if you have any questions about making your move to Denver, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to help, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.